Tuesday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, so happy he's not at OTAs these days. Dale Hellestrae, everybody.
Used to like OTAs, Steve.
Because you didn't do anything? Veteran days off?
Veteran days, and once you got established a little bit. And then we had quarterback schools, which were, so we'd do the mini camp Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the following week the veterans would have quarterback school.
Okay.
And we'd be done by noon.
It was a lot of standing around quarterback school.
Yeah, you're just talking and walking through stuff.
Yeah.
But we'd be done by noon, so we'd go golf in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then the basketball playoffs were on. You know, back in the early 90s, the Suns were good.
Yeah.
Got to watch them.
That's true.
And
That's true.
And so, yeah, I used to look forward to those quarterback schools.
We're going to go over Cardinals OTAs. Obviously, a big name's not there. Folks.
Is it a big name?
Well, a big name because it's just the Cardinals are going to Cardinal. Remember all those years, Dale, like, Before we get into it, I'm going to start off with something else, but before I lose this thought. Remember when Kyler Murray was here and all the scuttlebutt was Kyler Murray doesn't participate in any of the offseason stuff. He works out on his own in Dallas. Oh, my God, Kyler Murray doesn't want to be part of this team. Oh, my God. Folks, it's the organization why your starting quarterbacks aren't here for these things. The organization. Haven't you learned that yet? Of course, we're talking about Jacoby Brissett. Not there yesterday. The start of training camp. Carson Beck, go win that job, son. Go do it. Go do it.
Wow.
But Dale, how was your day yesterday? You had the young guy, you're running around like crazy, hurting.
Yeah, picked up Graham from school, and he was ready to go. I had pajama day yesterday. Steve, did you ever have pajama day at Dobson High School?
No, but they have them all the time now.
Yeah.
I don't get it either. Well, not at high school.
No.
Elementary school, we had that
he's
movie day where you pull out the pillows and the blankets and you.
He's in kindergarten, so.
Yeah, I can understand that. But no, they have it all the time. All those kids have it all the time. Ridiculous. I don't get it. Even kids today just wear pajamas everywhere. Like, hey, we're going to something where there's going to be a picture.
Hey, we're going to Texas Roadhouse. Take your pajamas off. Put some clothes on. Drink their water.
Here's a question I don't understand off the top of my head. Oh, what business classes do they have at NC State? Nothing on leverage. Is that where Jacoby Brissett went to college?
Must have.
Yeah, I'm going to assume so, right? No, Jacoby Brissett has the leverage right now.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He has no leverage. He won one game last year, Steve.
Okay. And they named him the starter.
Okay. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, he is best of North Carolina State. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I had no idea. Good for you, Robert, knowing that, first of all.
He has no leverage.
What are you talking about? Yeah, because Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter. The Cardinals have told you Jacoby Brissett starting at some point this season. I'm sorry, not Jacoby Brissett. Carson Beck is starting at some point this season. They've already telegraphed it. They've already told you. People are fighting it left and right. Oh, I don't see why you would start him at all into this process or anything. They're telling you Carson Beck's starting, folks. Y'all just can't read between the lines out there. He's starting at some point this season. That's all I'm going to say on that. That's all we can say on that. But we'll get into the OTAs. Who's not there, who's there. More importantly to me, I'm more worried about something else that I saw and heard yesterday as well. We'll talk about that coming up. Major League Baseball, Diamondbacks are back, including their injury ways. We just can't have a day of nothing bad happening, Dale. Nothing bad happening.
I watched a lot of that game. Who got hurt?
McCann.
Oh.
James McCann. Oh, what do you mean, oh? Solid catcher?
Yeah.
I actually would start him more than I start Marino, to be honest with you. Me personally. Just saying.
Okay.
What do you mean, Is that a big deal to you?
Not when they're scoring 14 runs.
Right quad strain for James McCann. So he's going to That's going to land you on the injured reserve, the injured list, I should say. Just a matter of today, tomorrow, whenever they can get somebody else or something. But a quad strain for a catcher, that sounds painful. Where's your quad at, Dale?
On top of your leg on the front.
It's in your leg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure it was in your leg. And what do you do as a catcher? Squat. That sounds painful. That sounds like
Well, he
that's
also
gonna add.
pitches.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Your bullpen just got weaker.
Wow.
Now the bullpen's gonna melt down. The boy Arenado's waking up. I mean, he launched that sucker in the first inning for a grand slam. That was fantastic to see yesterday as well. 12-2 victory for the Diamondbacks. We'll talk about that as well. NBA play. Oh my God, folks! Game 7 in hockey went to overtime, and then you've got the double overtime NBA. Oh my God, we're just gonna replay the whole games today. We're just replaying both games. Me and Dale are gonna sit here and watch them. That's all we're gonna do all day. What a fantastic night in sports.
I got sucked in by the basketball game more than the hockey game, but boy, oh boy, it seemed like Buffalo had a lot of opportunities.
That's the thing. Montreal, they came back. They were down 2-1, and in the second and third period, and at one point it was like Montreal hasn't had a shot on goal in like 20 minutes or something, and I'm sitting there literally typing it out. The Buffalo scores, and I'm like, of course they score right after I noticed that Montreal's not getting puck control at all and stuff like that. Then, of course, finish it up and tie and whatever and all that. It was a fantastic game. Both of them fantastic. And the Spurs, of course, double overtime. So we'll get into all of that, Dale. But yesterday, I had nothing yesterday. I went to Angry Crab Shack with my daughter. That place is expensive.
Is it good?
It's good. She gets a pound of snow crab, and she'll eat it all by herself.
Really?
It's so much work. I don't understand why you want to work that hard. You got gloves on, you got scissors and cutting thing. I'm like, I don't want to work that hard for my food. I just want it to show up. So I just get a rice and shrimp bowl or something like that, which is fantastic. But it's good. It's expensive, but it's good. But that's where we were watching the games at while we were sitting there and everything as well. So it was a fun night. And I couldn't watch the afternoon IFL game yesterday, but the Rattlers beat New Mexico handily. It was 42-7 or 6 or something at halftime. It was ridiculous. Blowout there in that game, in the mall. And then the afternoon game, wasn't able to watch it because I don't have the On Media or whatever that company's called. I don't have that service. So I wasn't able to watch that one, but Vegas blows out Orlando. Really ridiculous, like 77-30, something ridiculous like that. So this is the IFL Cup, and they're like hyping it up like, oh, the IFL Cup, first ever. Means nothing. It's like the NBA Cup. Means absolutely nothing to life, other than it counts as regular season games. All that matters. But yesterday, you and I made a joke. You're like, oh, what do they do in the mall? And I go get an Orange Julius, You're like, Sparrows. Folks, this is perfect setup.
And you saw it.
Orlando Pirates player number 7 listened to our show yesterday. He didn't go to Sparrows or Orange Julius, but here it is, IFL celebration at the mall in New Jersey. Here we go yesterday. He scores a touchdown, kick return. She gives him a drink. Those are mall patrons cheering with him. That's after a touchdown, folks.
During the game.
He has to get back out there because they have to kick the extra point. You guys at home thought we were kidding about the Orange Julius for Sparrows.
Wow.
I did see a couple Rattlers players, like after they scored, they were talking some smack to some people on the sideline, like back like that. And you could see the food court right behind it. And I was all like, oh, it's literally right there. And then that guy did that. Now they they blown out. He did kick it. They were in the game at that point. Then they ended up getting blown out. But Dale, that's like Terrell Owens taking the popcorn. That'd be like Terrell Owens going to the stand to get the popcorn to shove in his face instead of stealing it. Stealing the $14 popcorn from the fan and putting it in his face.
When has he ever paid back the fan?
That ain't cheap, man. It's not like the fan was like, here's my popcorn. That fan's like, That was my last $14, man. I was trying to. My kid's enjoying the game, you jerk. Just wanted popcorn.
What says big time football more than going and getting a drink in the middle of a game?
That's so great. The person's like, here's a
Wow.
drink. I was trying to see what restaurant that was, but they didn't show enough of the sign. I guess I could have looked at the map of the mall.
Okay, you're going to spend an hour trying to find that.
You know what? I'm going to right now, as a matter of fact. Dale, you talk while I figure this out.
Well, my question is, are the Rattlers in Vegas, are they both flying back?
No, they stay in there for the whole 2 weeks. I know Arizona is.
Okay.
Because they flew the whole team out there in case somebody gets injured or they have to change the lineup.
That's right.
So everybody's back there. Coach, guys, I've been saying all year, my sister's got a lake house up there. I'm looking forward to spending some time in that. So, no, they're staying for the whole 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
They play Sunday night. Rematch Sunday night, Yahoo Sports, so it's free and everything. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, 4:30 our time. Rattlers in Vegas. It's important for two reasons. One, obviously, everybody's going to tune in to see if the coaches fight again, type of stuff. One. Two, yes, Dale, coaches did do an interview. It's all around the IFL Cup stuff and everything. They're just hyping it up. They're hyping up Sunday night's telecast is what they're doing because there's no discipline. The IFL can say there's disciplines all they want. There was if there was discipline, it was a little bit of a fine and blah, 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 but that was it. At least on the Rattlers side. Las Vegas side, when I emailed them, they just never responded. They were pretty much gave me two middle fingers. We do not comment on anything on the situation that happened. Whatever, you clowns.
Yeah, you think you'd build it up.
Yeah, but you know how that league is, and the opposing teams, if you're anything associated with, another team, they have no interest in talking to you. You're just going to run to them and tell them. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's my goal in life, is to go rat on you. So the Rattlers have an edge over you. Settle down, Tigers. Jaden Delore, the ex-U of A star, of course, won the championship last year for Las Vegas. He has a championship ring, folks. He does. It will be playing the Rattlers again here coming up on Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Yahoo Sports. But it's important for two reasons, Dale. One, everybody's going to tune in to see what the coaches do. Sidelines are not by each other this time. Coaches do not get close to each other this time. So it's not going to be the same atmosphere unless they all meet for an Orange Julius during the game or wherever that place was for a drink during the game. It'd be another story. But then number two, it's important because right now Las Vegas has the tiebreaker by beating the Rattlers a couple weeks ago. If they win again, obviously they win the tiebreaker over the Rattlers. And these two teams are going to battle it out for a playoff positioning all year long. So it's an important game for the Rattlers because they need to win this. Or Las Vegas has the tiebreaker as well. So there's your IFL setup there. IFL Cup, where you watch. It's like the NBA playoffs. The IFL was like, what we need to be like? The NBA. We need to have blowout games in every NBA game we play until last night.
Yeah, so much for the 30-point blowouts, huh?
So the IFL, I'm looking it up here. The IFL Cup, folks. It's called the American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's simply a spectacular retail and entertainment complex. Yes, there we go, folks. The American Dream is what it's called. All right, so now I got to look up now I know what it's called. I thought they were just calling it the IFL Cup, the American Dream or what. I didn't realize that was the name of the mall. Food, restaurants.
You would think of all the arenas that teams play in that a mall would not be their first choice.
Well, remember the AFL played their championship game, I think, in this same mall and everything. So it's a mall, but it's an entertainment venue. They do concerts and stuff inside of it and things like that. It's just their stores around an entertainment situation, It's no different. It's literally just taking, which is weird because, do you charge tickets? Because I thought people just mingling, on the first level there, by the pads, people are just, mingling there. There were no seats
right
that I saw. It was just hey, just while you're going to Lids, while you're going to, Saks, Fifth Avenue, or Gucci. It's a high-end place. Holy cow.
Oh, is it?
They have a Gucci in there, or Hermes, a Bathing Ape. Is that legal? Are
What's
we allowed to have a bathing ape?
what's bathing
I have
ape?
no idea. Do I even want to know? I'm afraid to click on that. I'm afraid to click on that on a work computer. I might get fired. To clothing store. I know that. I just
Wow.
don't. So what restaurant do we think that? I think there was two O's in that restaurant as well. Extraordinary is on the menu, Dale, at the American Dream. Carpaccio's one place. You can book a table there. Azola Bella. Probably seafood is what they're featuring there. There's a Wagyu house. Wagyu house as well. Coming soon.
Don't they have that at Texas Roadhouse?
Oh, they have tainted water. Thanks for bringing up that massive memory again. Thanks, Dale. So here we go. Here we go. Dine the dream is what they say here. Distinctive dining. That obviously wasn't a restaurant.
No, that looked kind of like an Orange Julius or
Yeah, it looked like that. But they just have dining on here. Oh, Quick Bite. It's got to be Quick Bites. Okay. They have a place called Best Pizza. Dale, would you eat at a place that names itself Best Pizza?
I'd try it just so I could say you're not.
That's like when you're driving to California and it's like, clean restrooms, good burgers. Like, I'm not going to trust you, electric sign, on the Loves. Give me an independent source.
Can they squeeze anything more in a Love's gas station?
I love Loves, though. I love Loves. That's well, all them and Flying J's, I'll stop at all the time.
How about Buc-ee's?
No,
Buckeye.
No. I'd rather go to the Quick Trip when I go that route than the Buc-ee's.
You've never been to Buc-ee's?
I've been to Buc-ee's twice in my life in Dallas, outside of the racing, the Texas Motor Speedway. Yeah, one literally across the street.
Okay.
Yeah, Look, I want to go in, use the bathroom. I want to grab a drink, maybe a snack, and I want to hit the road again. I don't need a shop for clothes. I don't need your Buc-ee's nuggets. I can get beef jerky anywhere. I don't need it at your place. Why in the world am I going into a mini Walmart when I'm on a road trip and I just need to get someplace? I want to get to where I'm going. I don't want to hang out here for an hour and a half. Now, if I live next to a Buc-ee's, it might be a different story.
Don't you want to get out and stretch your legs a little bit?
Yeah.
You're driving all day.
Oh, well, for me, it's an hour and a half to get out there where that Buc-ee's is going to be. It's half the drive to California. So that place looked like, they have a Taco Bell in this restaurant. That place looked like it had two O's in the name. There's a Wendy's in here, Dale. That's how fancy we're talking.
Boy, they've got all sorts of stuff, huh? From high end to low end.
Yeah, they do. There's a Latin Grill, a Mr. Meon. Popeyes is in there. Popeyes, Louisiana chicken. I see nothing that looked like, Kobe, can you play that video again? Let's play that. We're going to do some detective work to start this show today, Dale. Okay, look at this sign. What does this sign say? Pause it right there. It's something. It's something is what it says.
Warhol.
It's Warhol?
W.
No. WAAO, right? Wow. Oh, fast casual. I'm looking. They have a Walgreens in this mall. They have a Wetzel's Pretzels.
Oh, now you're speaking.
More importantly, they have beef jerky experience. Discover the beef jerky experience where you can savor a wide variety of premium flavorful jerky. Enjoy unique, mouth-watering options. Perfect for every jerky lover. Ooh, that's what I want to go to. That sounds great. There's a yogurt in there. I don't see anything that says Mr. Maybe they don't advertise on the mall. Maybe that was there. They're like, take us off all your advertising for the mall. That's our advertising right there. Some guy in Phoenix is going to
Wow.
to play this. There's nothing with that name in this mall.
Huh.
It's a hidden place.
Maybe it was brand new and hasn't made the website.
Hasn't made the website. You think while they were building it, they'd put it in there. Interesting, huh? There's so many different places, though. There's a Van Leeuwen ice cream. The Best Pizza cracks me up. Like, what do you... What's your name? Well, we make the best pizzas. So let's call ourselves the best pizzas. There's a place called Ugly Donuts. Those are pretty ugly. They look like corn dogs. Hmm. I don't see the name on it at all. Weird. Maybe that restaurant doesn't exist. Maybe it was only there.
So that looked like it's at about the 50-yard line, midfield of and 50-yard line, the 25-yard line, midfield for an IFL game. So he ran, scored a touchdown, then came running back and jumped that little wall to go get.
Yeah. And then he just hopped over that wall again. Did you see he had a presence of mind to put his helmet back on before he jumped back onto the field? Because you can't take your helmet out there. Okay. It's Wow Restaurant at the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Fast casual dining spot. Latin-inspired menu. Burgers, sandwiches, like the Cubano. Tropical fruit shakes as well. Yeah. Level 1, Parks Court is where you can find it. Look at that. Advertising. Thanks to the blowout win there.
Yeah, so he did that, and then they proceeded to get their butts whooped.
Yeah, they got destroyed. Like 77-33 or something ridiculous like that. Yeah. Jaden Delore, man. Say what you want about that kid in Arizona. He's dominating the IFL. Dominating it. Took over that job a couple years ago, middle of the season. Hasn't looked back. Championship ring for him. You think he's going to advertise that? Like when Jaden Delore is my partner here, am I going to have to say, is he going to make me go, and one time IFL champion, Jaden Delore? Like you make me say 3-time Super Bowl champ?
I think you have to have at least 2 before you start demanding things.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that the rule too?
For 3, you shouldn't even demand it. It should just be no.
I made it clear to the lawyers while they were negotiating your deal that I was like, I'm not saying it. Finally, I had a cave.
So we left here yesterday. You're off your merry way. Big week for you, for your family, graduation.
Busy week.
All that, and nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad. I was out in the wild yesterday, Dale. Not one bad thing happened. Went home. I went home. Talked to Ethan for a little bit. We're getting some stuff situated for the rest of the week and everything. So I know like my Thursday schedule. I will be here all day Thursday like normal and everything. We got everything arranged now. And then, and then me and my daughter, she had a meeting on Monday night. So we went and did that. And then on the way home, we stopped at Angry Crab and grabbed some dinner. We went to Hobby Lobby afterwards. She needed some supplies for her company, her business there. Because it's graduation time, so she's busy right now and everything. And then went home. Not one incident.
Really?
Not one. Other than Angry Crab Shack at 6 p.m. on a Monday was empty. It was like us and like 3 people. Empty.
What'd you get? You said she got snow crab.
I just get a shrimp bowl and without vegetables because they put too much broccoli and garbage in there. It's disgusting. Tastes like dirt. Broccoli tastes like dirt. I don't care how much you clean it. Tastes like dirt. You know, Texas Roadhouse's water tastes like Drano. Their broccoli just tastes like dirt. I don't care where you get it from. Dirt. I don't like the taste of it. So I just get a shrimp bowl. It's just rice and shrimp, and I get double the shrimp for $8 more. Yeah, you don't get out of that place for under $100, Dale.
With 2 of you?
Yeah. The pound of snow crab's $40 by itself. That is $4 per soda. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
And tip?
That's why it gets up there. That's where it gets up to that. Yeah, families going. Like there's families of like 12 people going. I'm like, oh, I can barely afford this. How can you guys afford this? Bringing in like 12 and there's all these kids. I'm like, how do you guys afford this? Because, I mean, a pound of snow crab sounds like a lot. But when you're breaking it out and stuff, you know, it's I don't know.
Well, I say a pound of snow crab, that's probably about what? 3 ounces, 4 ounces of crab?
The actual shell and everything you got to work. I know. So it's not as much as you think it is in terms of food.
And you have to work at it. That's what I don't like.
That's what I tell her. She goes, you want a piece? And I go, yeah. I go, you going to open it for me? She's like, yeah. But because I'm like, that's a lot of work, man. You got the
Yeah.
scissors, you're hitting it. It's like it's already dead. You stop hitting it. Scrunching the claws off of it. It's just, oh my God. I was working up an app, so I was just watching sports while she was working away at dinner. Uh, that's all I did yesterday. And Hobby Lobby, we've had some issues at Hobby Lobby lately. It's just a backwards company, man. Hobby Lobby. They don't have like scannings or anything. Like literally their cashiers have to like type in, so she gets ribbon. So I think you guys have known me. My daughter makes forever flowers, which are just flowers made out of ribbon so they don't die, and everything. And she makes them. It's very successful business. She's busy this time of year because everybody's ordering for graduation and all that stuff, school colors, things like that. It's fantastic and everything, what she does. But so you go get the ribbons down, and so we'll stack them up on the counter. They're whatever price they are. And we stack them up and we go, all right, so these are all this price, these are all this price. And they have to double check it. Then they got to type it in. And like one time, a girl, one of the cashiers mistyped it in, did a dollar more than it should have been. Then you have to have the manager come over. They got to look at everything and count everything on there. And then there's one where we got 59-cent papers because she's working on another project. And so we had to get paper, and it was like 15 cents per sheet. She got 16 sheets. So the lady counts them and says she has 18. We go, no, it's 16. Well, it's still there. And then, so the lady goes, okay, 16. And doesn't. Then the manager comes over, Dale. Not last night. This was before. Then the manager comes over and goes, you should double count those. So then I go, oh, yeah, no, you don't trust your customers. Yeah, that's what I wouldn't do. So then the old lady cashier's like, I'm just doing my job. I'm like, it's not. I'm being sarcastic to your manager, not to you. But I'm just like, really? And then she recounts, like, oh, it is 16. Then the manager recounts it in front of us. And I go, yeah, don't trust the people in front of you. Yeah, because we're trying to rip you off for 30 whole cents. That's what we're trying to do. It's just an infuriating place to shop. They're so backwards.
Why would they
put UPCs on it so you can scan them, dude, like every other business does.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's bad. But I mean, we're nice about it because it's older ladies and stuff like that. Generally, it's fun. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. Their company's a backwards working company. Terrible, Dale.
You mean you don't make them cry, Steve?
Only on Tuesdays. We try to avoid going there on Tuesdays. Not the cashier's fault. Their company's terrible. And then one time, they raised the price on it, so like half the ribbons, because you get them to spool, half the ribbons were one price and half were another price, and they just charged me for the higher price. The manager had to come over, and she goes, "Oh, we're going through price increases," and I go, "Okay, but these ones are $3.99." I go, "These are $3.99," and the manager goes, "But we're going through price increases," and I go, "Okay, but these are labeled $3.99." She goes, "Okay, we'll make those ones $3.99," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna follow the law, or I'm gonna pay for this, and then I'll have to call weights and measures, do all this crap." I go, "Or you can just do the right thing." And so now we go through everything when we take them out of the thing. We look at. I trained Ireland. I go, look at the price. Look at the price. Make sure they're the right price, because if you haven't missed one, it's higher. Don't put that in your bin. Get the regular price.
Weights and measures.
You can't charge people a price that's not tagged. They get fined. They'll get fined big dollars for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just do the right thing and charge me the right price, please. Please. I just don't get why you can't. Oh, it costs too much money to UPC stuff. Does it? Does it really? Because everybody else does it. Only reason we have to go there is because Joann's closed. Stupid Joann's went out of business.
Yeah, because they weren't charging the right prices.
No, because a private equity firm bought them and sold out from underneath them and sold everything, sold the land and everything. That's the reason Joann. My first disdain for private equity companies when they took Joann's out of business. I spend way too much time in craft stores.
I was going to say, I don't think I've been in either a Joann's or a Hobby Lobby.
Well, because your family isn't as creative as Ireland is, I guess. She's definitely like her grandmother. She loves her arts and crafts.
Good.
We're making the room right now that has the TVs in it. You guys know that room, the storage room. We're actually converting that into a because Ethan's got the gaming room, so we're converting that into a craft room. Because she's got a sewing. Her room's too small for a sewing machine and the flower set up and all that. It's just like, oh my God, we need to get you a bigger room. So there you go, Dale.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm gonna need to get a bigger house.
All these extra rooms.
I'm losing my storage room now, Dale.
Yeah,
now where are the old
your
TVs
son's gonna be
go?
gone here soon. Turn his room into.
I know. I don't know where he's gonna be living here coming up. Yeah, I know. I should probably have that talk with him. Hey, are you moving out or what? Probably watching right now. Ethan, text me. What are you doing?
Dad, I don't want to leave you alone, buddy.
He texted just now. Actually, he texted. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there he is. We'll have that conversation. We'll follow up that conversation later. Let's get into sports here. When we come back, it's the main event Tuesday edition with Dale Hellestrae. We're back here. Main event Tuesday, Dale. IFL talked earlier. Get your It's Wow drink in the middle of a football. Hey, get parched in a football game. Sometimes those water people don't get the water out fast enough to you, Dale. You know that. You're out there jugging your breath like water person's just jogging. Staring at everything else, and you're like, "Can I get a bottle of water? Can you squeeze that water in my mouth, please?" Right, Dale?
I can't get my hands wet.
It does make me laugh though how players that can't reach for it. They're just all like, "Is that the reason why? Get the hands wet?"
Yeah.
But you're sweating though.
What's the only position player you ever see do that?
Yeah, lineman. But I thought it was because of all the wrappings and stuff. Like you couldn't.
No.
Close your hands to grab.
You can close your hands, but wide receivers are the ones who don't want to get their gloves wet.
They're the ones that are funny, where they stand there and they're all. I was just going to make fun of linemen there as well. A little golf news here as well. I saw a lot of people, PTI yesterday and a lot of other sports sites talking about the winner of the PTI. He won that tournament. Nobody lost that tournament. He went out and won it. And all that. This guy's well liked, man. Unlike Rory, this guy's really well liked. People are rooting for this cat.
Yes.
To continue his hot streak here going forward. It's almost to the point where I feel like they're all defending him. I don't think anybody's attacking him, but I feel like people are going out of their way to defend him. And I find it interesting because you don't see that too often in golf.
Well, I think there are so many big names on that leaderboard, and he is not one of them. But if I heard it once, I heard it 5 or 6 times on the telecast over the weekend. Aaron Rye, you can't find one person who'll say a bad word about him. He's the nicest guy on the tour, and this, that, and the other thing. So
I saw that in his press conference afterwards, where he's just like, hey, guys, I just have irons because they rust. Just habit. Why do you wear 2 gloves? It's just something I do. It's fun. Whereas a normal, a big name golfer like Rory would be like, why are you asking me that question? Shut up. Get him out of the building. Remove him from the building now.
Wow.
How dare you question the great Rory McIlroy. I went to wrestling there.
I just hope that when I show up Moon Valley sometime later this week that not everybody's wearing 2 gloves, has iron covers.
There used to be a 2 gloves guy before that.
Tommy 2 Gloves.
Yeah. What's his real name?
I don't remember his whole name, but he did not win a major.
No, but he won a couple. That's where he got famous. He won a couple tournaments. Just not. I don't think he won a major, but yeah. So it's been out there before and things like that. But yeah. But the other news, Adam Scott, he hit his 99th major. I gave this stat last week. He's number 2 on the list. Jack Nicklaus is number 1 on the list. And he's I don't remember the numbers now. He's at 158 or something like that. And Adam Scott hit 199 at the PGA Championship. Third place on that list is Jordan Spieth. Starts a major. And he's only at 53, Dale. That's shocking, the distance between these 3 guys. Go ahead.
Well, Adam Scott, actually, it's his 100th.
Well, no. He's qualified now for the U.S. Open. Right. That'll be his 100th.
Yeah.
When he starts that. The PGA was his 99th there.
Right.
But it's just amazing how far the difference is. Jack Nicklaus started 146 straight majors from 1962 to 1998.
So many things have to work in your favor. Obviously, you have to be good.
Here's my question, right? Because the next guy behind Adam Scott is Jordan Spieth, and he's 50-something, 53, 58, something like that. I don't remember the number now. These guys play in every major. When did Rory last miss a major? It's been a long time.
I have not tracked it, but you think about it.
It's 4 a year.
What did you say, 52 majors?
Something like that.
There's 4 a year.
Yeah.
That's 12-plus years making every major.
But hasn't Rory done that? You would think.
I would think, unless there was a health-related issue.
That's the thing. I'm trying to remember, what was the last major? Rory's been around since early 2000s. End of, 2010 range, something like that.
Right.
He's been around over 12 years. I don't remember him ever missing a major and not starting one. But that's where that stat just shocks the heck out of me as well. But I don't know, maybe Rory was injured in one of them or something. Was Rory around before Jordan Spieth had that hot streak where he took off? But that's an amazing stat there, just in terms of 146 straight from 1962 to 9. That means, like you said, not just injuries, but that means a serious family situation didn't come up right before a major that caused him to miss it. That means, his clubs showed up. They didn't disappear or something. Some weird stuff happening for him. From 1962 to 1998. That's 36 years?
36 years. The streak ended when he was 58 because he had a hip surgery.
I was going to say, I thought it was back surgery, but it was hip surgery?
Yeah.
You should have timed that hip surgery better after the majors. Going to have this after the final majors. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's the stat that makes me, because you think about it, not just, I know Phil's missed a couple majors over these last several years, but didn't he go 15, 16, 17 years of not missing a major? Maybe 20 years of not missing a major before he started to? It's an amazing stat there when you think about it and how you look at that stuff. But yeah, Adam Scott qualified obviously for the U.S. Open coming up, and so that'll be his 100th consecutive start. So 68 major championship starts for Rory across his professional career. But it doesn't say, so that tells you he missed a couple.
Right.
Yeah, he missed a couple in that breakdown. Because I know Jordan Spieth's the third place guy. And if you were 68, that means you missed a bunch as well. So, yeah. Amazing stat out there in the PGA golf world, in my opinion. That's like big news if Rory didn't make it. And it's not making the cut. It's starting on Thursday.
Right.
So you're just showing up to do it. That's an amazing stat to me. But that goes to the longevity of these golfers. Right. These golfers today don't have the longevity they used to. Some of that could be wealth. I'm just going to take this tournament off. I'm not feeling well.
Yeah,
My
but not
back's hurt.
majors.
Yeah, but your back's hurt. and you can't go. You got to take care of it. Jack Nicklaus probably played a lot of those majors with a bad back or something because he's not getting paid if he doesn't do it. He's going to have to go work somewhere if he doesn't play in this tournament. They didn't make a lot of money back then, right?
No, and he wasn't designing golf courses either.
Yeah, but at that time, yeah. So, it's one of those things where, like, I got to play in this. So then it's just like, give me whatever pills I need to get out there. Walk this course.
A little bit of this, a little bit of this.
Give me that Coca-Cola with actual cocaine in it. Get me through this tournament.
Give me a little Toradol. Give me a little Tarvacet.
The Robert says, I can't believe a Canadian team made the Final Four in our sports, meaning hockey. Montreal won last night as well. That's okay. We want a Canadian team to get as far as humanly possible without winning. Just hurts a little bit more. Stabs that heart a little bit more.
That is interesting. You lose in the first round. It's like, yeah, I'm disappointed for about 3 days, then you move on. Boy.
Yeah. You get to the Final Four and you lose to Carolina, and you're just going to be like, we were so close.
Yeah.
You know that. You lost one NFC championship game.
I lost 2 championship games. Lost one in Buffalo in the AFC championship.
But let me ask you this. This is an interesting question, folks. Well, it is to me. Which one hurt more, the Buffalo one or the Cowboys loss there? Because neither one you were supposed to be there, but one was young in your career and one was after you'd won a couple Super Bowls already. So which one lingered the most afterwards?
That's
where you're most angry about it? I'm going to guess here. The younger one was probably it because you were young and actually, you know what? I would say the older one because you don't know how many times you're going to get back. Let me change that. Because when you're young, you're like Dan Marino, this is easy. We'll be here every year. So that one there, you're not. So I'm going to go with the older one, probably lingered more.
It's fascinating because I never even thought about that. If you're talking about when it happened.
Yeah. Game ends. Game ends. You go into your off season. When were you like, I'm over this, finally? You never get over it, but when are you comfortable with it where you're not yelling at the dog for peeing in the yard because you're mad that you lost the game?
Because both of them are so unique. First of all, Buffalo, we were not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Had a schedule. I'm starting at that point. And you make it to the AFC Championship game. And the way we lost that was we're within 4 points, 4 or 5 points. Punt the ball to them. They're inside the 5-yard lane. There's still 9 minutes left.
Is that Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boomer size in Cincinnati.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you think that you're going to get the ball back with a chance.
With 9 minutes to go.
And never see the ball again. And at that point, I don't know I'm getting traded to the Cowboys. Yeah. Even when I got traded to the Cowboys, I didn't think we were going to be good.
Yeah. Well, you went to the Raiders between that. Huh? You didn't know you were going to be picked up in the whatever, as you're exposed in the free agency draft or whatever.
Plan B
right?
free agent.
You didn't even know that was going to
happen. But boy, that Cowboy one going for 3 in a row. I think we were more proud of the comeback there because we had dug such a big hole that it was not as traumatic. Yeah. Plus, we were freaking tired.
Well, that's why I went back and forth on this because at first I was like, you were young and probably like, this is easy. We'll be back next year. I don't care. We'll move on with our lives. Learning experience. But then the more I thought about it, but then at the same time, you'd already won 2 Super Bowls. Like you said, you were just tired.
Yeah.
You did come back in that game. You could still hold your head high that you lost it. You lost to eventually the Super Bowl champions that were a really good team on top of it.
Yep.
So you can kind of take that and internalize it all right, this year wasn't our year, but we got 2 before. That's why I went back and forth because that is fascinating.
Yes.
On which one. I just think as you get older in your career, you're just more cognizant of this might be my last time. So it lingers we could have had 3 in a row my last time. But like you said, you just won 2, and that could be you're just I just need a vacation.
Right.
Where's Hawaii at? Point me to Hawaii.
No, that is fascinating.
Well, think about it. Think about it some more and come back and report on that.
Don't know if there's a right answer.
Well, they hurt because That's the thing about sports. It's a long, brutal, beat up season. Like the Canadians, right? Like hockey, just these guys are beat up, tired, but they're also working at a level right now of just energy, and it doesn't matter. Guys play this hot game of hockey. If you didn't see in the last round, a couple players came out and they had broken vertebrae, and they played 20 plus games with broken vertebrae to play in the NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
So like when it's over, it's to me it's like, oh man, it sucks. It's over. Like we had, and then you're also like, oh dear God, I got to get healthy. Like this hurts. So it's not like you're glad, but it's
Right.
also like, yeah, we needed to wrap this up. I don't know how much longer I could have gone. I don't care how competitive you are, but that's the thing. But it's an abrupt ending too,
But
especially if it's a
thing.
close game. It's one thing if you're going into a game and you're expected to get blown out in, and you're like, let's just go have some fun, boys. And you're down by
Well-
30 and it's like over, like halftime, and you're like, all right, let's just get through this 30 minutes healthy and let's go enjoy our off season, boys. Type of a thing. That's one thing. But then it's last second loss. Oh, that's
Well, like
just
if
gotta
you're
kill you.
Buffalo losing overtime of Game 7.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you fought back in that game, or Norwood missing the field goal right. You have that. I can attest to this. Not even being on the field, Cardinals had that game won. That dude fell down across the middle.
Oh.
And then just an unbelievable. It took a toe tap catch, whether it was in or not. It took a toe tap catch for the Steelers to beat you. I'm just telling you, everybody, including the Cardinals, thought that game was over. Over. I can tell you, man, that was a drive back to Tampa, the limo driver, where we were just all like, "What just happened?"
Well, at least it was a limo driver, so you could.
Oh yeah, we were just all
You
back. We were
had
all
to-
literally. It was the most silent hour drive in a limo you've ever experienced, man. We're all just sitting there.
And as a fan of neither team, it was a hell of a watch.
So I know it's like to be a fan. Even then, the Rose Bowl back. I remember the Rose Bowl. I was sitting in those stands when
Ooh.
David Boston catches the pass from Joe Germain, of all people, local hero Joe Germain.
Who ASU didn't recruit.
Yeah, and catches that. You had that game won.
Yes.
And then Bruce, I almost called him Bruce Arians. Bruce, what's his name? Whatever his name is, Bruce, whatever. Goes in their prevent defense and they lose that game, and you just walk out of there, just royally, just quiet and depressed. You're just exhausted, because you're literally like, we got this. We're gonna be number one in the country, and we're not even playing. So I can only imagine on the players' perspective. But I will say this: I think players get over stuff faster than fans do.
Oh, I think they do, especially during the season.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
a season-ending loss, that'll sting for a little bit.
Really?
Well, and that's why I said I give Buffalo probably more credit than we take. I think to a man, the Cowboys say that to go to 4 in a row and lose them all
Yeah.
from super close to blowouts.
Yeah. Well, remember the way they did it too. They had to come back. Huge comebacks on a couple of those too to
Yeah.
get there.
They had to beat Houston.
Yeah, they had to come back. Remember that? They were
Yeah.
down by a big amount against Houston. So, I mean, that just that emotional roller coaster got to kill you. Robert says Bruce Snyder. That's right, Snyder as well. So I wonder how Bruce's cruise is going. I think he comes back on Thursday. Not here, but it's his cruise.
That's a
is done on
long
Thursday.
cruise.
It's a week.
That's a lot of money the Coopers spend.
You when your wife says we're retired, we're going on a cruise.
Yeah.
Guess what, Dale? You go on a cruise. When your wife goes on cruises, she don't invite you. See, that's the difference. She's like, me and the gals are going on a cruise. You take care of the puppy. Ethan says a bathing ape, commonly known as a bape, is an iconic Japanese streetwear and lifestyle brand founded in Tokyo in 1993 by designer Nigo. There you go, Dale. I'm going to assume Ethan looked that up for the bathing ape.
Bathing ape.
Robert says that's going to be a whole lot of seafood for Coop. Yeah, Mr. Seafood. He's a seafood lover. We found that out.
Yes.
As we found that out in person. Man loves himself some seafood out there. But Robert does say on the IFL thing, just put both coaches at midfield and let them hash it out. I can tell you this: the Vegas coach wants nothing to do with
Kevin Guy?
Yeah, that wants nothing to do with Kevin Guy. That ain't happening, folks. Kevin, if you don't know, Kevin Guy grew up on a farm
In Alabama.
Yeah, down south. That's a different breed of people.
Yeah, bigger
folks.
brothers.
Yeah, that's a different breed of people. If you catch my drift, a little bit nuts. Nothing scares them because they used to fight bulls and stuff out there. When they were out there. So it is kind of funny from that perspective. Dale, if I ask you this, and I want you to think about this, you draft a guy number 3 overall.
Number 3, okay.
And let's say he's the highest paid running back or highest paid, rookie, obviously number 3 spot, but highest paid jumps a lot of people. Not the highest running back in the league, because 3-4 guys ahead of him there, but highest paid guy out there and everything. And you go into OTAs. Where would you have him practicing at?
Defensive end.
Would you have him returning kickoffs?
In OTAs?
Yes.
Maybe.
Why?
Just because it's boring.
Fun, yeah, just to get him out there and see what kind of moves he makes. Oh, my God. If we line up in the regular season and Jeremiah loves returning kicks, you might see my head explode. Yeah, he's out there returning kicks yesterday.
Yeah? Well, he might be dynamic. Deion Sanders returned punts.
Yeah, he is a cornerback.
All-pro Hall
as
of Famer.
As a cornerback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody touched Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders didn't tackle people. Deion Sanders ran away from the ball. If they caught it, it was over. He just tried to shove him out of bounds or something. He didn't tackle anybody. They ran towards him. He did that fake, I'm going to drive and get you. Oh, I missed you. A running back is a physical sport, man. You have a shelf life. You don't want to add those extra hits in there from returning kicks.
What else do the Cardinals do wrong?
You're okay with that. You don't see any problem with that.
No. Not in OTAs. I
Yeah,
started
not like
seeing
they were
it in
hitting
preseason or something.
That's
Now
what I'm
now I might have an issue.
I saw that yesterday, and I was just like, excuse me?
Who's the quarterback, Steve?
Well, it's going to be Carson Beck.
Aren't you happy about that?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say I'm happy, but give us something to at least get excited about out there. Because I ain't excited about Jacoby Brissett or Gardner Minshew. We know what they are. We know what we're going to get. We're going to win 3 games and move on with our lives. Get somebody out there. Let's lose no games with somebody. Let's see what he can do.
How on earth can Jacoby Brissett and his agent say, we've got a strategy? We won 1 game last year.
See, the way I look at it is this, though. It's 3 possibilities, because I was thinking about this yesterday. It's really 3, maybe a 4th possibility. But it's Jacoby Brissett's asking for too much money. Like, he's like, I'm a starting quarterback. Aaron Rodgers just signed for 20 up to $25 million with incentives, but guaranteed 22. We don't want that kind of money. Okay, well, we're not interested, but thank you. Have a great time, Jacoby, over there. So he could be asking for too much money. It could be the Cardinals don't want to pay him any guaranteed money, right? They want to save that money because they know who their starter is going to be as the season goes on. So they don't want to pay him any guaranteed money. They want to do an incentive late and stuff like that. But you got to pay your starting quarterback more than your backup. And Gardner Minshew right now has more guaranteed money than Jacoby Brissett does. So it could be the Cardinals going down that cheaper path, stuff like that. But either way, isn't this just the Cardinals thing to do? It's embarrassing. Just sign the guy and get him in here. Now, and if he wants $22 million, put it public and go, he's asking for $20 million. The fan base will back you up, Cardinals, if he comes out and says he wants $20 million. Now, he wants 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. There might be an argument to be had on both sides on that for a starter going into this league. You have the cap space. You're not going to spend the cap space. What are we doing? What are we doing right now? It's ridiculous, and it looks ridiculous out there. And right now, I can tell you, most of the fan base, including me, is more. I know a lot of people are making fun of Jacoby Brissett, but I'm looking at it as Cardinals. What are you doing? Get your guy into camp. What are you doing? Because you automatically assume the Cardinals are, oh, well, you want $8 million? Well, we're only going to do $7.5 million. Just get the deal done. You look like idiots.
For once, Steve, I'm going to push back on you.
You look like idiots.
What I would love to do, is whenever that first mandatory minicamp.
OTAs don't matter. But that's the problem, though, Dale. This doesn't even matter.
Right.
But it's a perception issue. You just lost the schedule release last week. You lost the schedule release. The next week, you're losing the perception because your 1-11 starting quarterback is old now. At some point, you have to go, we look like buffoons. We may be in the right, but we look like idiots. Let's make ourselves look smart.
So let's spend another $5 million?
Is it your money? They have the money. 1-year deal, $5 million in your pocket, guaranteed. 1-year deal, $8 million. Dale, they wake up and waste more money than that. It's not like, we're going to go over the salary cap if we give them this money. You're $30-something million under the cap. You have the money.
Got to save some for a rainy day, Steve.
Got to save it for next year. So your pushback is don't pay him starting.
I think it's audacious for a quarterback who won one game to be holding out for more money. Have you not heard that story before? There's been baseball players who are MVPs on a last place team and they want more money.
Yeah, but even when your backup has more guaranteed money than you, and they named you the starter.
Now that's
the case.
Interesting.
Gardner Minshew's guaranteed I think it's $7.9 million.
So I would at least pay Jacoby Brissett a little bit more than that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure I'm just under the impression, and I could be completely wrong, Jacoby Brissett's not asking for $20-something million a year. They're probably in the $8 to $10 million range, so he gets more than his backup quarterback does, who's coming off of a knee injury. You don't even know when he's going to be able to play. It's not that bad of a thing to do, man. And you have the space, you have the money, you have the space. But again, you just lost the schedule release. It's a perception thing for them. They just don't care about their. Chris Carter just railed them up against the wall. Did you see that clip? Did you eventually see that clip? With Chris Carter just saying, well, I don't even know how Larry Fitzgerald's lucky to be a Hall of Famer with that garbage enterprise. Their ownership is terrible. They don't even know what they're doing. Chris Carter said everything but I wouldn't get anywhere. Like when that guy's flying a plane, I want to know his flight pattern, so I'm not underneath it. That guy's a moron. He said everything but that. It's just the perception of it just makes you angry, man.
Perception's bad. I understand that. I would at least give him a little bit more than your supposedly backup in Minshew.
Yeah. And like I said, we're going now. If this was, it'd be even more dire, like you said, when it's mandatory. OTAs, no, you shouldn't care. But why do we care? Because it's the car, and it looks like they're being held hostage by a 1-11 quarterback. You can solve this hostage taking in 2 seconds, folks.
But here's the thing: we don't know what he's asking for.
That's the problem. We're gonna find out. But here, Dale. You know the guy over there at the Cardinals. Remember the whole Kyler Murray thing? Let's rehash the Kyler Murray thing when we come back here. And I'll set it up on what the Cardinals, if he was asking for too much money, this is what the Cardinals would be doing. I'm going to let you in on some insight here based off of the Kyler Murray situation. When we come back, the Cardinals aren't doing it, which tells you he's not asking for too much. Let's read between the lines, Dale.
You are a pro at that, Steven.
Come on back, folks. The main event. I have too much free time on my hand to do this stuff. And we're back here, second hour main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as your 17-year NFL lineman. I think he gave earlier in the show middle fingers to Buffalo, making the AFC Championship game there, his final year there. I think he was just like, we knew they were destined to lose 4 in a row. That's why he got out of there. That was earlier in the show, folks. Go back and watch him crap all over Buffalo.
Wow.
That's going to be our teaser today, Dale. I'm going to put that out as a teaser later on. Just out of context.
9 minutes left in the fourth quarter and don't get off the bench.
Yeah, that was that Boomer team. That Cincinnati team was
And they didn't
good.
score a touchdown. They still had the ball on their 4-yard line.
How does that happen?
Right.
Was that Icky Woods?
Yep.
He was early in his career then.
Yes.
So Icky was early in his career then, yeah. I've told this story 1,000. My memory of that Cincinnati team is just a broken leg in the Super Bowl. That's like one of my first football memories. That and Joe Theismann.
So you like injuries?
No, but when you're like 7, 8, 9, pretty traumatic when you see the leg just flying in the wind when they show the replay 7 times.
You know what's so funny about that? So I played against Tim Crumrye in that AFC Championship game. He's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. He's the one that stuck his leg out to trip somebody, hit his shin bone, and shattered his leg in the
He was a Wisconsin State champion wrestler. Just a mean, ornery, nasty dude when he played.
Snorted. Snot bubbles came out when he played.
Did some football camps with him, probably 10 camps over about a 5-year period here in the last 15 years. And I do remember.
Oh, recently then.
I do remember him and I having a beer and talking. I go, why couldn't you have broken your leg in the first quarter of the AFC Championship game?
Was he just blowing up that defensive line? Is that
No,
what you're saying? Keeping him out?
but he was a pain in the ass. He had all this leverage stuff. He'd always be working on things.
Was he a tall guy? Because I remember him being short and stocky.
He's probably about 6'2".
For a lineman, that's
6'2" and a half, maybe.
Yeah, that's short for a lineman.
But just those wrestlers, that's the thing. They work on leverage all the time.
Yeah. I think I've told this story before. I don't remember the kid's name now, but when I was going to ASU, I had him in one of my classes, and we were just like joking around. And same type of thing. He's a little short, stocky guy. Started for ASU. The name will come to me at some point. And we were joking around. And he goes, he said something. And so I was, I don't remember what the conversation was, but I was just like, I just had to like push him. I literally didn't even move, just stood there. He came back and like just barely went bloop with like 2 fingers, and I was like 20 feet backwards. Something about leverage when your body style is that way, and understand the leverage side of it. It is an amazing. It just always stuck with me where I was like, I get why you play college football and I don't.
Yeah,
I would shoot backwards if somebody hit me coming across the lane. But yeah. So second hour main event now, folks. We're talking Jacoby Brissett. There's a certain person in the Cardinals organization that a lot of people don't like. He's behind the scenes. Y'all don't have to experience him. We don't experience him other than to be told we're a bunch of idiots and we need to shut up about things and we don't know what we're talking about, that type of stuff. He controls the media. He's the puppeteer on the media side. But remember the Kyler Murray situation and his injury? Where it was like, oh, he's coming back. But they never let out what his foot injury was. And we were questioning it here nonstop. Then all of a sudden, he's coming back. The Dallas game. Oh, nope, the game after that, he's come back. Then all of a sudden, you start seeing Schefter and everybody report, oh, that leg, if he plays out there, there's a potential his leg will fall off. That's why he's not out there. All of a sudden, that news started coming out. That all came from one man within the Cardinals organization feeding it to the national media guys to put it on the Cardinals side of Kyler Murray's not playing. We didn't bench him. He's not playing because of his injury. His leg can fall off. How bad this leg injury is. But we didn't find out about it till 8, 9, 10 weeks after it happened, how bad it was. But he was coming back. He was out there practicing full speed during the week for multiple weeks. But then it just gets fed to the media. This is how you know Jacoby Brissett's not asking for a ton of money that the Cardinals are not interested in. Because you know what would be happening right now, Dale? They would have fed to Schefter or Ian Rappaport or one of those national guys Oh, Jacoby. Sources are saying Jacoby Brissett's asking for $20 million. That's all you have to say. You don't have to put any context behind it. And if anybody sees 15, 20, $30 million, the whole fan base is going to go, what is Jacoby Brissett's problem? Cardinals are right on this. This is how you know he's not asking for more money, a ridiculous amount of money, because the Cardinals would be floating it out there by now to get the leverage on their side to get him to come in and sign if they wanted him to. That's how you know, folks. You can look at the history of the Cardinals organization with when they float stuff out to the national guys and stuff like that. The history's there. The fact that the Cardinals are quiet about this tells me, based off of history, the Cardinals are the ones being cheap here. They don't want to pay him guaranteed money. And I'm willing to bet you the reason why they don't is because they know Carson Beck is going to be the starter on this team at some point this year. Dale, that's what I can read between the lines to come to on this. If he was asking too much money, we'd know about it because Adam Schefter yesterday would have said, Jacoby Brissett's holding out with the hopes of $20 million payday for this year as a starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. He would have just floated that out on Twitter yesterday. And he hasn't because he's not asking for outrageous money. Dale, your thoughts on my reading between the lines?
I was actually reading an article about your boy.
Were you talking?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yes.
And
well, which article is it?
There's one locally.
Okay.
And
well, don't promote that.
No, that's right. I'm not. I'm just saying. But I tend to believe more like that. The fact that if you're the Cardinals, let's take a step back. If you're Michael Bidwell, Monty, Ossenfort, what's your goal this year? Is it to win as many games as you can? Is it to develop a team with oodles of salary cap money next year?
Yep.
Hopefully a high draft choice?
Yep.
Is it to be mediocre to below mediocre?
Yep. No, it's not that. I believe they're going to the season as the fourth rebuilding year. And they're setting it up for the fifth year. Next year with the $128 million in salary cap.
Right.
But we just learned, Monty flat out said it. There were a lot of players we wanted here that wouldn't come here. We couldn't pay them enough money to come here. Players don't want to come here. That's not going to change in a year. I don't care how much salary cap money you have.
Well, especially if it's another year of losing.
That's the issue.
Well,
you have to show you have talent here this year.
Now, again, a lot of focus on Brissett. I didn't realize that Sweat didn't show up
he's
either.
Not there,
That's for a trade.
Well, I don't know if that's founded. A lot of that was rumored. That has been denied by multiple people.
By him?
No. But this goes to my point farther, though. It's been denied by people in the Cardinals organization publicly.
Right.
All my point is the Cardinals have the ability, folks, to get the narrative out that they want out there. We didn't bench Kyler Murray. No, his leg could fall off if he plays with this leg injury he has. 12 weeks after they benched him, we find out that side of the story. They could have said that at the beginning. He shouldn't have been practicing. And then the Sweat stuff, they've denied the Sweat asking for rumors. That's come from inside Cardinal circles. They've denied it.
Right.
It's in their benefit to say he hasn't asked for it. You've heard nothing, at least that I've seen, from the Sweat side of stuff. And the Cardinals can't come out and say, Jacoby Brissett's asking for, he wants to be paid more than Gardner Minshew as backup. We're not going to pay him $8 to $9 million and pay more than his back. You can't say that because you're going to look like a more. So you stay quiet in these instances.
It just the whole thing. Calais Campbell, another instance.
But I did hear he did not. Oh, go ahead. You finish this story first. But I did hear directly from Calais why he chose the Ravens.
But he lives out here. He's not born and raised, but he came into career here.
He came back here because he wanted to retire a Cardinal. But I did hear directly from him. Cardinals reached out to him. It wasn't the money. He thought the Ravens had a better chance of winning this year because he just wants to win.
Well, they have a better chance of winning every year.
even last year. Yeah. But that's why he said he chose the Ravens. So at least we have some player confirmation on that. It just strictly came down to he said he loved Arizona, would love to be here another year, but the Ravens have a chance to win, and I want to not lose games. I think is how he phrased it.
Not at 40 years old.
No, the only reason you're playing now is to go win games. Have fun, finish your career, and win. Win more than you lose, right? You don't want to be competitive. So at least we heard from him on that. The Cardinals were talking to him about coming back, from what I understand.
Right.
But again, that's another situation of what's your hopes of waiting a year for $100 million free? Who's signing a deal with you if they have other options? Like I have a choice between the Bills or the Cardinals next year. Cardinals are going to pay me an extra $20 million, but I've made a lot of money in my career, and I'm looking to win right now, so I'm going to go to the Bills. It's just, what are you doing? And isn't this also showing, though, two people out there? Yeah, we're not going to pay you as a starter.
See, I don't think it's that at all, but I do agree with you that you see a 602 area code call you when free agency or the draft comes. You're usually not jumping up and down.
I'm getting my hair done. I'm washing my hair.
Do not disturb.
Yeah, it's just, but that's the conundrum here. I get perceptions as everything, and we have different perceptions as fans and media covering the Cardinals than inside the locker room and stuff like that. But the Cardinals have told you, players were flat out, I'm not coming to play for you. Calais Campbell, who wanted to end his career here, was even like, I'm going to go win someplace else for another year. And going to ball, you can go, because your initial reaction is, but he's going back home to Baltimore where he played a lot of years. Except for the fact nobody he played with in Buffalo was there. They all got fired last year. It's a whole new regime there.
In Baltimore, yeah.
So what does he have there other than the Baltimore and the Ravens? What other reason does he have?
New coach.
It would make sense if Harbaugh was still there. Oh, I love playing for Harbaugh. I want to do one more year under him. But it's a whole new regime there. It makes zero sense other than they have a better chance to win. And they called me.
Well, that, and I also think, he came here under the guise of he's going to take a backup role. Yeah. He's going to be a mentor. He's going to play 30% of the snaps.
And he played a lot.
And he had to play about 75% of the snaps.
Well, I also think that showed him that he still has it. Like, I don't know. You tell me. You're 17 years in the league. You're seven. Let's just go back to just your 17th year, and you're like, I got one more year. Were you like, I got one more. I'm ready to go, baby. Or were you like, I got one more year?
We got to remember the money was different back then. I didn't have life-altering money already made.
In your career, yeah.
I just loved the game, but I also wasn't getting signed to start going into my 16th, 17th year.
So you were just taking the paycheck.
But wow.
Got you on that one.
Wow.
You hear that, Jerry?
Wow.
Just kidding. I think you always have love for the game, but I think it's also mental and physical.
No, what you get paid for, and I heard somebody else say it, I wish I had come up with it. You get paid for the off-season preparation, off-week of practice.
Warren Sapp, you pay me for Monday through Saturday.
Yes.
Sunday's on me.
And off-season. So yeah. Sunday's a blessing.
Yeah, that's what Warren Sapp used to say. Sunday's on me. Yeah. Sunday's for free. You pay me for the rest of the week.
Right.
The prep, the practice, the meeting rooms, and feeling like garbage and stuff like that. I do remember him saying that, but yeah, no, it's just fascinating. But I just don't. It's just a perception thing with the Cardinals. There's already a perception. They've talked about it. Monty himself has talked about it. He alluded to there were other guys we wanted, and they just didn't want to come here, which tells you that narrative is out there. Calais Campbell leaving that narrative's out there, and how are you helping it right now? By going, Jacoby, they even came out in the last week or so and said, Jacoby Brissett's our starter. But we're still having good conversations with him. It cannot, okay, I'm sorry, folks. It cannot be this difficult to sign Jacoby Brissett to starting money deal. I'm sorry, it just can't. It just cannot be that difficult. Jacoby Brissett just wants to be respected as a starter, as you named him as a starter, and he wants to make more than his backup. And it'd be different if you're butting up against the salary cap and you have to move some. That's a different situation. You have it. It's there. You know Jacoby Brissett's here one more year. No matter what happens this year, good or bad, you either know who your quarterback's going to be in Carson Beck, or you're drafting Arch Manning or the kid from Oregon next year. You know that's what you're doing. So it's one more year with Jacoby Brissett, and you're just, you're not interested in having him here. It's just a perception issue from this organization, and they can't get out of their way because of the perception. They might be in the right, Dale, but this organization cannot give this. They just want to give a bad perception out to everybody, not just fans, not just media. National media is laughing at them.
And even if it's that they don't want to, it seems like they don't care.
That's the thing. Okay, they say, "Oh, we're having positive conversation." Are you? How often are you talking to them? What's taking you so? This cannot be the hardest negotiation you've ever had. I'm sorry, it can't be. Jacoby Brissett wants to be here. He wants to be the starter, and he wants to get paid like a starter more than his backup. Again, if it was 20, if he's asking for Aaron Rodgers money, folks, that would be being floated out, because there's a no to that. If Jacoby Brissett signs for $20 million, you will see me rip the Cardinals for that. He is not a $20 million a year quarterback. Nah, he's not. You will see me lose my mind on that.
Do we know what he wants?
No, but if it was an astronomical amount, the Cardinals would be out there putting that narrative out there. I've given you all the other examples of the Cardinals putting the narratives out there when their decisions that are made. You're not, and the only time you're quiet is when it's not in your favor, is when you shut up. We're arguing over $8 to $10 million here, guys. Michael's like, "Oh man, you guys seen jet fuel prices lately? Cost me 4 times the amount to fly my plane."
Yeah, so let's screw Jacoby Brissett.
Let's screw our fan base. Other notable Cardinals Cardinals, like you said, Josh Sweat wasn't there yesterday. Now, I know the rumors are out there on Sweat asking for a trade and all. He cannot be happy here. He came here for one person, and that was his head coach. His head coach is gone. They're not winning.
Although Nick Rawlis came to, the defense coordinator, he's still here.
Yeah. I would argue he should be enthusiastic they blew out the head coach, because that head coach put him in bad situations last year.
Yeah, but if you have a personal relationship with a guy,
and that's the reason you come here.
You know.
But so Josh Sweat, I don't know if it's a money, or it could just be OTAs, and he's on a boat in Cabo somewhere, getting ready for the season. But everybody else is pretty much injured, right? Walter Nolan, not participating. L.J. Collier. Now, Garrett Williams, all injuries coming back. Baron Browning, also not out there for voluntary OTAs, at least practicing. Trey Benson, coming off the injury list. You're not going to see him in OTAs. Christian Jones, an offensive tackle. And then Tip Ryman was out there on the sidelines, coming off of his huge injury last year as well. So James Conner, Starling Thomas were both working out on the side with trainers. A good sign for James Conner that he's actually working out, not just standing out there.
Mm-hmm.
That means he's coming back, and whether he's ready for the beginning of the season is another story, but he's working out. Tip Ryman was only standing in street clothes while he was there as well. Sean Murphy-Bunting was working with the nickels and safeties, coming off of his injury from preseason last year. I forgot, man. You still have Sean Murphy-Bunting and Starling Thomas on this team. We got all about that. That's
out of sight, out of mind.
But that helps your secondary. Because I'm like, this secondary is in trouble this year. I forgot they can come back as well when they do that. So basically, the people missing OTAs besides Sweat and Brissett are guys coming off of the injury side of things as well. To me, that's a positive sign for a new coaching staff. What you don't want is a new coaching staff to come in and everybody's avoiding coming. So it's a positive in my eyes for that side of it.
Right.
But here's the thing. We should be talking about OTAs. What was I had to do research on the OTAs yesterday. Because everybody was talking about Jacoby Brissett yesterday. Again, it's just a perception thing with these Cardinals. They just never want to be looking in the right direction. They always want to be over here instead of doing what they should be doing. It drives me nuts, Dale.
Well, again, it's such a wacky situation because, number one, there is a lot of pomp and circumstances about a third-round pick who you're wanting to see play this year.
Yes. And the only reason is because you're only expected to win 1 to 3 games. So why not see the rookie?
Right.
And you're arguing with a quarterback that you're expected to only win 1 to 3 games. And it's not all going to be his fault. It's Jacoby Brissett did enough in some of those games last year to win them.
He did. He put up some decent numbers.
The defense had some late scores, right? And that when those close games that they lost, Jacoby Brissett left the field with a few minutes to go with the win. The defense gave up the last second field goals and stuff to that effect. So it's just, I don't know. It's just frustrating. It's freaking May and we're frustrated already. How do you lose the schedule release?
NFL doesn't like the Cardinals, do they?
Just, how do you lose the schedule release? I did see a lot of video of Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy hamming it up. They're giggling, laughing. Putting on the good faces, Dale.
What was that, 10 years ago when they were in Green Bay together?
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers holds grudges, man. He holds grudges.
And McCarthy doesn't?
Well, McCarthy will have a job after this year. I don't think the Steelers will blow him out. The Steelers aren't an organization that blows a coach out after 1 year. I think if this goes bad for the Steelers, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get the blame for it. Because it's easy to blame the guy that ain't coming back after this year. So I do think McCarthy, whereas at the end of the years there in Green Bay, the Green Bay was obviously choosing Aaron Rodgers over McCarthy. I don't think that's the case this year. So I think McCarthy can be a little bit more relaxed. You think McCarthy's like, I wish I had Dak back again.
You know what? I'm looking at this. So, yeah, I mean, if you're sitting here, Jacoby Brissett, he's scheduled to earn just under $5 million.
Yeah, I want to say Gardner's at 7.9 or something like that, guaranteed.
Gardner,
but I think Brissett's guaranteed is only like 1.5 million.
It is, and Minshew's 5.14.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you got to give him at least the guaranteed money of the backup. I'm sorry, you have to, and maybe $1 million more, maybe a couple million more, guaranteed money. Yeah, he's incentive laden. Especially when you've been named if they didn't name him the starter, then you have an argument. Hey, go earn this job, and then we can talk. Or whatever.
Right.
But you've named him the starter. With a guy coming off of a serious knee injury last year in Gardner Minshew. Is he even going to be healthy? I actually tried to find out how much he participated yesterday, and I had struggled to find it.
Saw a lot of Carson Beck.
I did. And he's got that one. I know Pat McAfee talked about this. But he's got that. I think it's pretty awesome. That one leg that's just got tattoos all down, and the other leg's no tattoos on it. I don't know. I think that's kind of
How many tats you got?
0, and I will never have a tattoo ever in my life.
Never understood tattoos.
Either that, because even when I was 17, 18, when everybody was getting them, when it wasn't just sailors and everything, I was like, dude, I don't, 10 years from now, I'm not going to like what I like today.
See,
why do I want that on me?
You're mature beyond your years.
I'm afraid of needles, and I would have cried. I'm just kidding.
You talk to people, and they're like, yeah, they hurt. I go, well, that's like getting slapped in the face. You go, you know what? Do it again.
Yeah, it's like I love the concept. Used to watch Ink Master all the time. I love the artistry of tattoos. I'm not getting a wolf on my arm because in 4 years, I loved wolves and turtles and stuff when I was younger. Can you imagine if I was walking around with a giant turtle on my arm today? First of all, that turtle would look like it's 400 pounds with the size of these arms now.
Big turtle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my God, your turtle's been eaten, huh, over the years? I'm saying I'm not into turtles like I used to be.
Well, I've always said, so when I was obviously before your time, the barbed wire tattoos around your arm.
I remember those were. I remember several people that got those. Like when
Yeah.
I got to the corporate world after college.
Yeah, and they used to be the rage, and back then, my arms would have looked good with barbed wire around them. I do remember thinking, but they're not always going to look like this.
I remember just thinking. I know people like in the corp, like they're like it's like at work you couldn't see them, but then you'd see them like after work and they'd have their polo shirts on and you just see the little barbs sticking out the bottom, and I'd just be like, all right, Chris, you look like a moron right now. Should I name the whole thing?
Well, all I know is that at 63, my barbed wire, you could step over it and be droopy. Yeah.
Robert says, wouldn't it be a tortoise now? I don't know. It'd be something. That's for sure. It wouldn't grow up to be Godzilla, I can tell you that. But Robert does ask, is Brissett on the opening day roster? Because there is speculation. I mean, you're not going to trade. I think yes, because at a minimum, okay, I don't know how to phrase this. The Cardinals like Brissett more than they like Gardner Minshew. So if there is a quarterback that's going to lose out, it's probably going to be Minshew. But you just signed him, so I don't know how that's going to work out.
Right.
I have seen some people say Jacoby Brissett will start this season, then they'll go to Minshew first, and then they'll go to Carson back. But again, why at that point? Why? If you're just sucking it up, because I firmly believe, because everybody that's on the Monty's being watched this year bandwagon, I firmly believe Monty's safe this year. Unless it just goes disaster. Like they're losing every game by 70 points or something. But I do believe Monty's safe this year because the goal is the big free agency period next year is what they're aiming towards. But they want to see improvement this year. Not necessarily in wins, but they want to see improvement of the players on the field, and that's where the coaching staff comes in. And Monty didn't hire LaFleur, folks. I mean, he did. But the owner was in those meetings too. Well, one guy would have to take the fall, I guess, right?
And it wouldn't be Michael.
Yeah, unfortunately, it won't be Michael out there. Robert also says the Cardinals communication team does match their ownership. Terrible. Go watch that. I watched that whole schedule release video. I only watched like the first 3 minutes. It just gave me nightmare corporate meeting days, man. And people had to buy off on that, Dale. Come on back. Let's talk better things here. We got Diamondbacks. NHL Game 7 last night. NBA.
Wemby.
Double overtime. Yeah, the Wemby coming out party happened last night.
Wow.
Think about this going into the break. Was this the Thunder having a rust from sitting for so long? Or is this we got a series here, folks, with the Spurs being able to compete with them without De'Aaron Fox, no less? Come on back, folks. We'll talk about it. Main event. We're back here at Main Events, having some fun on this Tuesday. Don't forget, get involved on the show. Text us 623-252-6670, Dale. And every day for the last week, we've had somebody texting us saying, Torrey needs to go. I think it's become a gimmick now. Because they just won 12-2. So we're off the Torrey needs to be fired bandwagon until he screws up again.
Right.
Just kidding on that. From that side. But I tell you this, he doesn't make the playoffs. Well, let me put it this way. I have been told by people that close to the organization, but not from somebody that makes the decision, that they believe Torey Lovello, if he does not make the playoffs, his job is done here.
Well,
Which tells the reason why it came up with this person was I was commenting to them how I've noticed, and a lot of people have, that Torrey's acting different this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the conversation started. And they said that they believe, without being told, that he has to make the playoffs. Which tells you, is what I'm getting at, is what that tells you is Torrey's been told, you don't make the playoffs, you're not coming back.
And you've seen actions that kind of lead you to believe that.
And that's how the conversation started, was that of, man, what's up with Torrey acting this way and stuff like that. And they're in the locker room. They're reporters, stuff like that. And so they're there, and they've seen some changes too and stuff like that we're talking about behind the scenes and everything like that. So yeah, I think there's a knowledge around the organization. It's playoffs or bust, man. None of this you lose the playoffs on the last day stuff again.
Or going into the last week, you're in the hunt.
Exactly, and that's good enough going into this. So I don't know. We'll see. Really quick, last thing on football before we move over to basketball, NHL, and then we'll finish up with the Diamondbacks. The Raiders are going to be sold soon. Mark Davis he's at least going to give up, if he doesn't sell the whole franchise, he's probably going to give up majority control coming up. I'll tell you this right now. If my dad ever left me anything that was worth a few $1 billion, folks, that sucker's being sold. I don't care how long it's been in the family. Give me the cash. But NFL owners are voting on a limited partnership for two guys, further buying into the Raiders. They're already minority owners. One of the guys buying another 11%, which is going to perch his total interest to 22%. Another guy's going to buy another 5.4%, which means his total goes to 12.9%. That means they're well over $10 million invested in the Raiders, because if they're a $1 billion franchise, that's $10 million to buy in at 1%. Or 10%.
No, that's 10%.
10%. It's a lot of money to buy in on that. But here's the other side.
Why are you talking numbers?
I know. Dell founder, Michael Dell, Blackstone founder, his name, WME CEO, which is TKO, and also TKO president Mark Shapiro. They're buying in to buy chunks of the Raiders as well. The Raiders are being set up to be purchased by private equity. At least the majority side of it. No, you sell the franchise and you keep 10, 20% equity, and everybody else they buy out the rest of the team. So you just sit there and you collect the continued revenue gain from them, and you just collect that percentage point while you take your billions and go home, baby. What you do, Dale. That's what I would do. But my dad didn't leave me a franchise.
Hold on, the Raiders only valued at $100 million?
No. I'm saying $1 billion. I'm saying I said only at $1 billion. I did that because I knew I'd screw up easy math, Dale. I'm not going to go to they'll probably be sold for $8 or $9, $10 billion. They're going to be a very highly priced franchise, the Raiders, because of where they are, and the stadium and the hoopla around it and stuff to that effect, and the money around the Raiders. That's my drift. Hey, really quick, throw up the NHL brackets for us here. We finally have a Final Four, and it gets underway Wednesday here tomorrow night with the Knights in Colorado. We found out last night, Montreal, Buffalo, 3-3 ball game going into overtime. At one point, it was 2-1 with 16 minutes left in the third. Buffalo tiled it up 2-2. Then it goes 3-3 at some point. Goes into overtime. Montreal wins the game, Dale. Here's how they did it. For those of you that didn't see it, here's Montreal in overtime.
Ahead. Over the line comes Newhook. Shooting. Scores! Alex Newhook! Olé! 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 And Montreal is going to play Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final.
That was a 1-on-4.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, yeah, because they turned it around, yeah. But look at that's something that's different. Like you kick a game-winning field goal, players run out on the field and they jump around a little bit. Just look at the elation on these Montreal Canadian guys, man. Do you guys see that? That was just unbelievable, the excitement on these guys coming up. It's fantastic to see from that side. In overtime, fantastic series, lived up to all the hype, 2 young teams on top of it. I'm not going to tell you Montreal is going to beat Carolina. I'm going to sit down and think about this. Of course, don't forget, Lou coming in on a Thursday. Even though no UFC this week, Lou's still coming in. Here's the interesting thing. Can the Montreal Canadiens, kind of like what we think of the Spurs, can they make that a series, meaning sneak away with 2 wins in that series? I'm about to sit it down and see how many games this is going to go coming up, because I like Montreal in the matchup with Carolina coming up in that series. Then, of course, you've got Knights in Colorado. They face off Wednesday night. Montreal gets started on Thursday. So it's a quick turnaround for them with Carolina sitting for over 14 days.
Right.
Game 1, I don't know if this is the case in the NBA. We'll talk about it in a minute. But Game 1 could be an interesting game here coming up for Carolina and Montreal. Something that'll be I think I'll be very interested in seeing how it's going as well. Before we move to the NBA side, we'll talk more hockey tomorrow with Vegas and Colorado. But Ann says as well, actually, wait. Are you, Robert says, Michael should take the fall. He doesn't have far to go. That's a short joke. He reminds me of the king guy in Shrek. Lord Farquaad. That's who he reminds me of. Has his staff line out outside of his office and clap for him when he comes out.
That's what you do here.
And he looks surprised. But I don't look surprised.
You make all of us stand up when you leave the room.
I know, you guys. I know. It's a beautiful thing. All 2 of you, 3 of you 4 of you on a busy day. But Papa Mike says, boy, I need to turn the volume down for this segment. You saying I'm loud, Papa Mike? But Ann does say her kids and her, first of all, Ann, this is borderline child abuse here.
Ooh, you're throwing that out.
She goes, my kids and I watched all the release videos and ranked them all. That's borderline child abuse there, because some of them were bad. I saw the Tennessee Titans, well, I'll finish the text in a minute, but I saw the Tennessee Titans one, and I enjoyed it. They just went out and found lookalikes to people. They called them names and, called them by their names or whatever. And I thought it was kind of funny. But I liked it. But I saw a lot of people panning the Tennessee Titans one. I thought it was actually pretty funny. Just a man on the streets type segment. But Ann also says the Cards were ranked 2 out of 10. Absolutely awful. I'm surprised you got 2 out of 10. But these are kids that like Nutella ice cream, Dale. So, are you a Nutella fan?
You know what? Auntie Kendall gave Beckett and Graham some Nutella, and they devoured it like it was.
My kid, Ireland, I used to have to get the big jars of it.
Yeah.
She would just eat it like crazy. Just the smell of it makes me want. But they just came out with an ice cream bar, so that's what we're talking about. They came out with ice cream version.
Oh, okay.
As well. They came out with the peanut flavor too, which I think sounds worse than the regular
Peanut
Nutella.
butter?
No, just the peanut flavor. Their first flavor version of it is like peanuts.
Huh.
Yeah. But anyway, 2 out of 10. How'd they get a 2? That's my question. I mean, it was just unbelievable about it. And they're also getting ripped because all these teams are literally like doing these veil things around the Cardinals where they're like, we did ours without any AI. Like they're just completely ripping how the fact they did it naturally, not with artificial intelligence. And they're not naming the Cardinals, but it's obvious who they're pointing towards as well from that side. But I forgot what we were talking about before leading up to that. NBA, throw up the playoff bracket here, Kobe, just so we can get everybody updated. We know what the matchups are. But tonight, you got Cavaliers and Knicks. This interests me a lot. There's a lot of talk in this series about which James Harden is going to show up in this series. And I tend to agree with it. James Harden, to me, he's a heck of a player when he wants to be, but he doesn't show up in big games very often. So it'll be interesting to see against the Knicks. And the Knicks were blowing everybody out by 30 points or more throughout this whole series, whole playoff system, after they got past the Celtics there when they played the 76ers. So this will be an interesting start to this series, Dale. But last night, the Spurs lead the series 1-0 over your Oklahoma City Thunder.
What a game by San Antonio. Going back to Cleveland real quick.
Yep.
I think that's going to be a fun series to watch.
I'm actually higher on Cleveland than I was 2 weeks ago.
And now I've heard stuff about what's LeBron going to do next year. Is
He's going back to Cleveland.
Why would you bring him back to Cleveland when you got this thing going on?
I would take LeBron over
Harden?
I would, even today.
Well, I think LeBron's shown that he is okay being second, third option.
He's more of a team player than Harden, and that's the reason why.
At 52 years old or whatever he is.
Harden's turnovers in the fourth quarter early in this series that we were all having fun with are because he's a ball hog.
Yeah.
LeBron has shown he can be a team player now. And you go back home to Cleveland, you want another championship for not just you, but for your home city as well, Cleveland. You have those ties. I think that'd be a fantastic. But I would take LeBron over Harden right now. Absolutely.
Well, it'll be fascinating. But I think that series is going to go 6 or 7.
Do you really?
I don't think New York's beating Cleveland by 30. I think they're going to be a lot closer games.
Yeah, I'm higher on Cleveland than I was. I do think the Knicks win this series. But I agree with you. Cleveland's going to do them a run for their money. I think the matchup here is going to be tough for the Knicks in that series. Yeah,
and again, a little bit like Oklahoma City last night. I don't know who's the better team. I think Oklahoma City is the better team.
Well, they are on paper.
But SGA got his MVP.
Well, he's all upset because Shams leaked it 12 hours before the ESPN show leaked it. Did you hear this controversy?
No.
Shams let it out at like 7:30 in the morning. A tweet went out with Shams saying SGA won it. But it wasn't being announced until 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. So people are speculating that Shams just scheduled the tweet at 7:30 a.m. instead of 7:30 p.m. and messed up.
Who cares?
Oh, everybody's throwing a fit about it, including SGA. He's upset about it too. Ruined my announcement of my according up there. But that's the thing. But the Spurs here, if you didn't catch this game last night, goes into double overtime. Spurs looked really good most of the game. At halftime, I was like, all right, Thunder need to wake up. Are the Thunder just rusty? Are they going to wake up in the second? They did, but the Spurs match, they were without De'Aaron Fox, folks, out for the ankle injury. But Wemby came out, man. We talked about this two-headed monster on the Thunder yesterday on this program. Anybody watch that game and see a two-headed monster on the Thunder that can stop Wemby out there? I just sure didn't. I sure as heck didn't. Wemby's dunking over him. They're doing alley-oops to Wemby, and he's dunking, reverse dunking it on him. Yeah. Wemby's shooting from the logo, folks, to hit a three-pointer late in this game to tie it up. From the logo.
And just in rhythm.
It was unbelievable. And it's on the road. That's the scary thing. On the road in Oklahoma City on top of it. He had a big block to wrap up the game and keep the Thunder from coming back and winning it. Then on top of it. Then 20 of Wemby's 41 points, half of his points roughly, Dale, all came in the fourth quarter and overtimes. He got stronger as the game went on top of it.
It's going to be fascinating. Another thing about the Spurs, this is what I love about sports. Because now Spurs have 1-0 lead. They won a game on Oklahoma City's court. I expect Oklahoma City to come out guns ablaze and run away from San Antonio game 2.
Run away?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But San Antonio rolled out the youngest playoff starting lineup in NBA history.
And took the lead and kept it the whole first half.
And so everybody's talking about how many championships for the Spurs? Just like a year ago. Well, how many championship games? How many championships for Oklahoma City?
I'll say this: the Spurs are. If they don't, as long as they don't screw it up, the Spurs are the next dynasty in the NBA coming up. Thunder will start to fade, and the Spurs will step up into it. It's coming, folks. But these two teams are going to battle for multiple years as well. So, by the way, here's the deal: who did Wemby join as the only players to record 40-plus points and 20-plus rebounds in their conference finals debut? Only one other player has done it.
Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, I was going to say, just guess Wilt because it's going to be the answer. It was Wilt.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Because like Jordan's not getting 20 rebounds. He'll get the 40 points, but not, those types of players. It has to be a center type player, yeah. So who did he join also as the only players in Spurs franchise history to record 40 points and 20 rebounds in a postseason game? So a Spurs player that he joined in that level.
David Robinson.
David, yeah, you're right. I thought you were going to say Tim Duncan. But yeah, David Robinson. Yeah, see, Kobe says he was thinking Tim Duncan. I would have guessed everybody would have said Tim Duncan.
Well,
I was
Kobe
surprised.
was probably not alive when Tim Duncan was rocking and rolling.
He was alive, but Kobe was too young to probably remember the Twin Towers. Kobe, what year were you born? 98. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I was graduating ASU.
So he was born tail end.
Yeah, that was the end. When did he stop playing? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't think he started playing.
2000.
Yeah. As well. So, that reverse pump. He scored 9 of the Spurs' 14 points in the second overtime. He got stronger as the game went on against giants on the Oklahoma City side type of thing.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing thing. Now, my question is, and I don't mean this as a disparaging thing on the Thunder, but I have a serious question going into game 2, because you say they're going to go out there and wake up and do it. Was this just the Thunder, like I said, having a little rust from sitting for so long?
Yes. Oh, I think that played into it.
Yeah.
But I think these teams are pretty damn evenly matched.
But you would think at the second overtime, the Thunder would have looked fresh. The Thunder didn't look fresh in that first and second overtime. They looked a little lethargic at times. And the Spurs looked like they had, you would think the opposite with the Thunder sitting around not playing. Here's the other thing I noticed last night that I don't think is going to continue. What are we not talking about today around this game that we talk about with most Thunder games?
Officiating.
Find me one person complaining about the officiating today. Don't get me wrong, they weren't perfect. They did. I don't think that's going to continue for the rest of the series. I think that's why the Thunder win in game 2. Is the NBA is going to put some officials out there that are going to call some questionable fouls against the Spurs and get them in trouble. NBA's not throwing it. They're just going to put those officials in that position that they know are going to blow the whistles a little bit more than they did last. That was such a fantastic game last night, folks. Do not underestimate the NBA's ability to ruin the experience last night in game 2. Because it's coming.
Well, and remember this. Stephen Castle had 17 points.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable for him, too.
17 points. He's only 1 of 6 from three-point land. Nobody shot really good from three-point land. Yeah. He had 11 turnovers, Steve. 11.
You know who's not going to have 11 turnovers?
SGA.
De'Aaron Fox. When he comes back. That's the other side of it. I know, you're right. I mean, you're right on that. I know what you're saying on that. But also, you're right on that. But, I mean, the Spurs were without the guy that controls their ball, and they played that well. But that's my question. Officiating, that's not going to be officiated like it was last night. We are not one person I've seen. I watched national broadcast sports last night after the game and this morning. Nary a person brought up officiating and how the Thunder get away with this, the Thunder get away with that. Oh, my God, the officiating. Not a person. That's going to change in game 2.
My question is if De'Aaron Fox has any lingering effects.
That's the thing. It's an ankle.
Do you even play him in game 2 now that you got your win?
On the road, if it's a bad ankle sprain. We don't know how bad it is. I even told you, like, the way they announced it so late in the day yesterday, that even I was like, they were prepared to play him. I think that for warm-ups or shoot-around, they were like, let's just give you game 1 off so you can get better, for game 2, which tells me he's probably close. They just wanted to rest him a little bit. But I don't know. That's a big part of this series, too. So officiating and how much of last night was the Thunder getting their legs underneath them after having so much time off. That's the question moving forward. In game 2, I don't know if it's going to give us that answer. It's going to give us the answer on the official. After game 2, we're all going to be talking about how the Thunder got a lot of gifted calls and end up winning game 2. We're going to have that conversation. The NBA is going to send officials that aren't breaking any rules or anything, but they're going to send the worst officials in terms of guys that call ticky-tack fouls and stuff like that. And it's going to go against the Spurs, folks. Mark my words now.
Well, you also have to tip your headband to Alex Caruso.
I can't stand Caruso.
31. I can't stand him either. But he had 31 points last night.
No, this was in a playoff series where everybody's blowing everybody out. Every game feels like a 30-game blowout. Last night was something special to behold. So, Dale, how is the NBA going to screw it up for game 2? That's the question.
Well, I don't think that, again, I believe that Oklahoma City wins by 20.
Yeah.
I think the combination of San Antonio, hey, you're going there, your whole goal, get a split.
Yeah. We did our job. We won one. We did our
split.
Job.
And Oklahoma City now knows they're on high alert and and they're going to be flying around.
Yeah, which means what? Flopping and bloop, bloop, bloop. Watch, Wemby had such a game 1. Let's just say it. Wemby's going to be in foul trouble in the first half of this game. He's going to have 3 fouls.
Well, is he? Do you think he is? Because he doesn't have to get within 3 feet of somebody to block the shot.
Yeah. Oh my God, that block at the end in that double overtime to have the Thunder lose it. Oh my God, this guy is amazing. The alien is not a justifiable nickname for this kid. The do crazy stuff. I still get amazed when he steps over chairs, like they're not even there.
Well, they call it. They say he has 3 blocks. How many altars does he have in a game?
Oh, Chet Holmgren and Dort. They couldn't do anything underneath with him underneath there. It was just ugly with him underneath there and stuff. This is gonna be a fun series. Let's see how the NBA can ruin it. But then Dale, D-backs win 12-2 yesterday. McCann injury we told you earlier. What did I say? Quad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right quad strain. He's going to miss a couple months probably. He's going to end up on the injured list, and they're going to have to call somebody up. Now, who are they going to call up? Do they need another catcher? I mean, obviously you got Del Castillo, but he's more of a DHer there. Who are they going to call up from the minors? That's the question to pay attention to from your Arizona Diamondbacks here. But 12-2 victory. Arenado. First inning. Now, some defensive errors happened, so it wasn't all on Robbie Ray. But, man, Arenado launched that ball there into the I was right there by the bullpen out there in the outfield to take the 4-0 lead. Then some of the Giants guys were able to make it a close game, and then the Diamondbacks just blew it open. Zach Gallen looked good last night, too. The guy I'm most worried about out there looked good last night.
Yeah. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts.
But you know what the bigger thing is to me? Nobody else got stressed in the bullpen.
Well, I heard them talking on the broadcast last night, the fact that with the way the starting pitching has been pitching deep into the games, they've got to get the bullpen somewhere.
That's what I was just going to bring. I didn't hear that on broadcast because I wasn't listening. I had the hockey game on and we were at the restaurant. Yeah. And so I didn't get to listen to the broadcast. They did talk about that?
Yeah.
Because here's your problem. Because I talked about this with Brandon Pfaadt. Brandon Pfaadt can no longer come in and start. He's not stretched out to be a starter. He's been in the bullpen long enough. And they haven't needed him. And that's the problem. So now, if anything, the arms are too fresh. And they're throwing on the side and doing that stuff. But game time situations. But at the same time, you're on a big stretch right now. What do you have? When this started, you had, 12 against the Rockies and Giants in a row? The bullpen is fresh, and that's the important thing because a fresh bullpen's better. But like you said, you're just going to have to start throwing guys out there, right, for no reason. Hey, 1 inning, you're out. 1 inning, you're out. 1 inning, you're out there. And if a guy struggles, you have a big enough lead, You go, all right, you struggled. You're out. Next guy in. Let's get some practice out here. Treat it like a practice type situation.
Who would have
out there
ever
as well.
thought
I like it.
middle of the May that one of the problems the Diamondbacks were having was the starting pitcher was going too deep in the game?
No, nothing. We're all worried about the bullpen going into the season. But I've said that all along. This starting, like when they were scuffling, I was like, this starting pitching needs to go longer into these games. You're going to blow your bullpen out. We're going to be out of bullpen pitchers by beginning of May, is what I was saying in April, if they don't figure this out. Now we have the opposite problem. These guys aren't ever, like literally, I call him lasagna as a joke. Everybody does. But he goes out there, and I'm like, when was the last time this guy pitched?
Right.
Ooh. Garcia? What?
Is he still on the roster?
I'm like, what? Yeah, it's an amazing thing. And they went through 3 guys last night in those innings as well to get out there. Now, the bad news is the Giants did not go through a lot of bullpen guys in this game as well. So their bullpen's going to remain fresh from that side. I love it in game ones when you lose. They have to use like 6 pitchers because it just kind of messes up their schedule moving forward. But tonight, 6:40 p.m. again. I like the way Corbin Carroll is coming out of this. I've told you guys, Corbin Carroll's starting to wake up. He's starting to come out of it. He's not always getting base hits and knocks like that, but you're seeing him go. That can only help the rest of the hitters on this team if he gets hot going forward as well. What was he 2 for 4 last night? I believe he's batting .284 now as well. At that point. So yeah.
Well, the guy that's standing out to me is, I don't know how they're coming up with this nickname, Waldo.
Well, because of Walt Schmidt.
Yeah, but that's not Waldo.
I think it's stupid.
Waldy?
Schmitty,
Waldy, something. But
yeah, Waldo. I agree with you. Waldy sounds better, doesn't it?
3 for 3 last night, batting .313. Yeah. Just enjoying himself out there.
809 OPS I saw last night.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why, like, Tommy Hendry's sitting down there having another outfielder. And I like to see Barroso play more in this outfield. Uriel Jr. is just not doing it for me when you have these young studs down there, kind of what we're dealing with. But,
right.
And then Tawa, playing left field. Yeah, he's batting 160, folks.
That's your guy.
Isn't it time to send him down a little bit and see what these young guys can do because they're performing out there? Now, Barroso's batting average isn't much better, so you got to do that. But even if you brought up, like I said, young guy from the outfield down there in Reno dominating now, dominating all season as well. I think it'll be a fun thing to do. So tonight, 6:40 on the mound. I forgot who's on the mound tonight. Who pitched last night? Gallen last night? Oh, so Wright Nelson tonight on the mound. Tonight. It's going to be a fun night. And then you got Cavs Knicks on top of it, Dale.
Yes, sir.
You have to go take care of the kids today again?
Well, I think we got a couple shows coming up.
Oh, I forgot. You got to record your other stuff.
I think I heard the
I hear him over there.
I think I heard the COVID cough from David Nash.
I heard the laugh. Robert says Scotty Foster is on his way. He is not. I didn't see Scott Foster on the list of list of referees available, unless I missed it. Available. They came out with 12 guys or 12 referees that are available in this series, and then they pared down even more for the finals. I might have missed it, but on that side, Papa Mike, by the way, from the Oklahoma area, there says Thunder are in trouble. One head of the two-headed monster is not 100%. Everything else was normal and well for them except underneath, and that's the problem. You can't let Wemby dominate a game out down there, and they let him do it last night as well. So going back to the deal here, Ann said, my son wanted to. Wait, hold on. We were estranged by Winston Van Gogh, the Rams Napoleon Dynamite Twist, and Commander's Science Fair in terms. Okay. That was the mascot thing. They ranked every mascot or every schedule release thing. I was questioning why they gave the Cardinals a 2 out of 10 because it was terrible out there.
You only gave him 1.
I gave it. Dale. Only reason I watched the whole thing was because people were panning it, national people, and I was like, all right, I gotta at least watch the whole thing. When it first came out, I watched the first minutes when he's like, let's bring out the other 3 mascots, and I was like, no thanks. Gave me like heart murmurs and stuff from corporate meetings and stuff like that, Robert says could be Garcia that gets called up to back up Moreno. Did Garcia's still on the minor league team. I couldn't remember. One of the minor league guys was DFA'd. I couldn't remember if it was Garcia or not. They do need another catcher, though. So I have a feeling a catcher is going to come up from that point. That could be Serta, too, according to Robert also. So we'll see. It's probably going to happen today for the roster spot. And you can get here from Reno pretty quickly. You would have been told last night. So we'll see who they announce later on. Dale, I'd say get out of here, but you got a couple of shows you got to do that, that we produce here at TME Media.
Yeah.
TME Media AZ, folks, on YouTube. Don't forget about it. And then, of course, the Real Matrix over at Rumble as well. With all of our programming there. Follow TME Media on X as well. We'd appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. And Dale, it's got a long day. Would you rather be with Graham Tate or the angry fan?
Graham Tate or angry Patriot, yes. Angry fan? Please.
See y'all tomorrow, everybody.